right? And yeah, like you said,
Yeah.
in Idaho, and I never knew this. I never had this conceptual framework until I moved there and got to see it. We got kids in the 2A from these small towns. They look the same. They're just as happy as Poway or when they're getting their championship. The place is jam packed. And these people are in this bubble and they have no clue. And the kids that are exceptional, that are going to go that next level, they're wrestling in Fargo. They're wrestling in folk style nationals. I mean, Idaho has won 3 folk style nationals just in the last 4 years. So the quality is there, but we have a lot of kids that if they wrestled in the one division may not place, and that's a vast majority, but there are always going to be the exceptions. And I think, like you were saying, if California, say it went to 3 divisions, still be quality. 90% of the matches would be pretty solid throughout the tournament.
Yeah, well, I think what you said, if you take one of those round of 16 kids that if you put him anywhere else, he'd probably be a state placer.
Mm-hmm.
But he loses in the round of 16. It's like, dang, I suck. And even to be honest,
Yeah.
that's how I felt. I made it to round 12. I didn't even place. I'm like, I suck. And I remember going on a recruiting trip, and this kid that wrestled in North Dakota was like, "Hey, what'd you do in state?" I'm like, "I didn't place." And he's like, "Oh, like how many matches you won? 4." What? You went 4-2 and didn't place? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah. And I was like, you're the one that's weird. I'm not the one that's weird. But now
No.
that, actually doing camps and going outside of the state, I'm meeting up with all these Division 3 and Division 2 guys, and they're telling me their stories. And I'm like, that's awesome. I wish we had more of that in California because, again, it's kind of like a bubble in itself, too. It's like if you're round of 16, you're round of 12, you don't place, you think I suck. I go back and forth with my buddy Carlo Franciati a lot. He's another CCS guy, wrestled out of St. Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Winning does a lot for a kid. Winning a
Mm-hmm.
little bit does a lot. It's like, I placed 7th or 6th at the state tournament. Yeah, maybe I can go wrestle in college versus if I go around at 12 or 16, now I'm not going to be good enough.
No, you bring up a good point. And like I said, 98% across the country that wrestle in high school will not go on to college. And of that, I think Division 1's 1.2% go, but that doesn't count the guys that make it after they get there, right? It drops off even more, the ones that make the teams. NAIA Division 2, 3 are all in that 1 point something. And I think a total of 5% if you count all the divisions. But California, even in 3 divisions, what will happen, like with Idaho, when they come out there, the coach will say, "Oh, you're a 2-time state champion. That sounds good. What did you do at Fargo?
Yeah.
What did you do at Folkstyle Nationals? Did you place?" We had a bunch of Idaho kids go to the Doc B, and some of them were Fargo national champions, like Mac Mager. He won it his sophomore year. Last year he took third, and this year he took seventh. He was up in the upper weight, but he was like and he's going to Missouri. But he got to see the difference between being in a state tournament where you may have a couple good matches to where every single match is going to be a grind and it'll prepare you for that Division 1. I would say, correct me if you think I'm wrong, I think at least the top 16 and 20 at the California State Tournament are good enough to go NAIA or higher.